So yeah, so the next module is probability distribution. So this is the third module. So in this concept, mainly you all know what is the probability mean. So the basic meaning of probability, we know it already. Now, so what we'll get in this concept means we'll get some set of values. Okay, some set of real numbers. For that real numbers, we need to find probability for those things, and there will be finite number of variables and infinite number of variables. So like this concept and all will come in this probability distribution, and it is easy only. So only when you know the basic things. Okay, the probability means what? So that you should know. So we all know probability means number of favorable cases divided by total number of outcomes, correct? Number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. So this is the probability of an event. So this is the basic formula for probability. And that is what I have wrote here. So definition for the probability is, it is the ratio of number of favorable cases to the total number of outcomes. Okay, total number of outcomes. So this is the basic definition, and also I can give example. So we have a coin. Okay, we have one coin. So if you toss the coin, so what happens? We'll get head or tail. So what is the probability of getting head means? So what is the total number of outcomes? One is head, another is tail. So either any one will get once you toss a one coin. Okay. So what is the probability of head means? So how many times head is there? One. Divided by total number of 1 and 2. So 1 by 2 is probability of getting head. And probability of not getting head means not getting head. It is nothing but tail. So probability of tail is also 1 by 2. So like that. So this is the basic definition and also one of the simple example for the probability. And here we'll get some distribution. It means we'll get some finite number of values and infinite number of values. In such cases, how we are going to find the probability? So that concept we're going to see now. So previously what we have done means just one question will be there. So we'll find probability for a particular variable, that's all. We'll not go on, we will not continue with those all the values. But here we'll continue with all the values, whatever there in the given data. So that is the difference between previous probabilities and now probability distribution. And then sample space. See, sample space is nothing but this total number of outcome is there, no? So that is nothing but sample space or exhaustive event. So what is the sample space means? The range of all possible outcomes of an experiment is known as sample space. So for suppose two coins are there, okay? Two coins are there. So you tossed it simultaneously. So what is the sample space means? S will be equal to, you will get head, 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 tail, tail, head, or tail, tail. So this is the possible cases. So the possible cases are known as sample space. Okay, the possible space is known as sample. Possible cases is known as sample space. And similarly, same thing only exhaustive event. So there we represent as space. Here we represent as event. That's all. See, an event consisting of all the various possibilities. Correct. So all the possible all the possible varieties we wrote here. Okay, various possibilities we wrote here. So this various possibilities is called as exhaustive event. So I have given definition and also example so that you can understand easily. Next, mutually exclusive event. See, mutually exclusive event means one event is dependent on another event. One event is normally dependent on another event. So first I will give the definition and then I will give the example. See here, two or more events are said to be mutual exclusive. Two or more events are said to be mutual exclusive if the happening of one event prevent the simultaneous happening of other. So for example, same thing, there is a coin, so you can take dice also or coin. So tossing a coin. So what happens? If you get head, it is nothing but you have not got this tail. This is not getting tail is nothing but head. So one is mutually yeah. So one is mutually uh, simultaneous happening of the another. Mutual simultaneous happens of the another. So this is not possible means this is possible. So that is called mutual exclusive event. So this is not happening means something is happened. So something is happened means so head we are getting means it is nothing but not getting tail. So that is the example. Tossing of coin, getting head and tail are mutually exclusive. So only two possibilities are there. Either you should get head or tail. So therefore, head and tail are mutual exclusive events. Okay, head and tail are mutual exclusive events. So that is the meaning of this point. Next, we'll go for independent event. So previously, what we got one head or tail. So they are dependent on each other. So when it is not dependent means directly I will say when it is not dependent, that means independent means if the both the coins getting same possibility, that means head and head, tail and tail. So therefore they are not dependent on each other because we got two coins and you are tossed it. So we got both the time head. We got both the time head. So if you get head and tail, they are dependent. They are dependent. But here what we got head and head. So that is what I have given. Two or more events are said to be independent if the happening or non-happening of an event doesn't prevent the happening or non-happening of another. Doesn't prevent the happening or not happening of another. So when two coins, example, cut and clearly you will get to know. So when two coins are tossed, getting head is an independent event as both the coins are turned out head. Correct? If both the coins are turned out head, that is nothing but independent event. So getting head is an independent event. Only if both are head. Only if both are head. So that is the example. And also one condition we have, and that is the basic condition only. Now itself I wrote and show. See, if P is the probability of success of an event and Q is the probability of success of an event, then P plus Q is equal to 1, and I have justification also for that condition. So what is that justification means? See, same thing. You have got a coin. Okay, you have got a coin. So what we have done? Possibility of getting head, only one coin. Possibility of getting head is 1 divided by total number of outcomes are 2. So possibility of getting head, okay, plus possibility of not getting head. Not getting head, that means one is success, another is failure. Failure is nothing but not getting head. Not getting head is nothing but you should get tail, correct? You should get tail. So possibility of getting tail is again 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is 2 by 2. 2 by 2 is 1. Therefore, P of success plus P of failure is equal to 1. Correct? Hence, P plus Q is equal to 1 is justified. Okay. They said P is success of event, Q is failure of event. So success plus failure of event is 1. So that is the one of the condition in probability definition. Okay. Then we'll go for random variables, which are very important for this concept. So in the name itself is there a random variable. Okay. Random variable is nothing but what? Suppose we have a container or a box or something. Okay. So there we have number of balls. Okay. Number of balls. So number of balls means in there some balls are red, some balls are green. Okay, like that we have. Some balls are red, some balls are green, like that we have. So what is this random variable means? Picking up of any variable. Let it be anyone, we don't know. Picking up of any color, and that color should be like this. Okay, that color should be blue only. So like that possibility we're going to find. Okay, this is one of the examples. So random variable means picking up of any value of a any value in a sample space. Okay, picking up of any value in a sample space. So that is called random variable. So here I have given the definition. It is a function which can take any one value from the space, correct? Which can take any value from the space and having range of some set of real numbers is known as random variable. Okay, so we should give say a range of set of real numbers, range of set of real numbers, and I will show you so how to take random variable and how to take range of random variable. Okay, that concept we'll see now. Range of random variable and random variable x we're going to see. So how to find random variable x? Random variable x is equal to, so how to find random variable x? I'll show you. See an example. This example will clear your doubt. So there are two coins which tossed at the same time. So simultaneously we toss the coins. Now what will be the sample space? You know already. One possibility is head head, another possibility head tail, another possibility tail head, another possibility tail tail. So here what is the total number of possibilities? Total number of possibilities are 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 4 here. Total number of possibilities is equal to 4. Then let the number of heads in a random variable x, or you can take number of tails in the random variable x. That is your wish. Okay. Let the number of heads in a random variable x, then random variable x is equal to, so here h comma h h. So how many times h is there? 2 times. So 2 times at a time we toss the coins, but 2 coins are there, correct? So one toss I have given head, another toss also I have given head. So number of heads are 2, correct? That is what I wrote here. So then h h t. H so 2. Then h comma t. So head is 1, and here t comma h. That is there also head is 1, and here no head at all. There is only tail. So that is nothing but 0. So what is random variable x? Random variable x is equal to 2 comma 1 comma 1 comma 0, and also you should represent range of set of some real values. That is nothing but range of random variable x is equal to, capital X represent random variable. So range of capital X or range of random variable x is equal to range. How to write means you should not repeat the cases. You should not repeat the cases. So t2 at once we have and we wrote, and here 1 we have for 2 times, and you need to write it for only 1 time. Then 0 1 time I wrote it, correct? So you should not repeat the cases. So if 2 is repeated for 3 times, 4 times, then we should write at once. So that is the range of random variable. So this is how we need to find. So one problem will do so that you can able to understand it. Now, so in random variable we have 2 types. One is discrete random variable, another is continuous random variable. Okay. So when you have a finite number of intervals or finite number of observation or finite number of values, okay, in a yeah, when you have finite number of values in a finite observation interval, so that is called, so finite, for finite number of values we can able to find the probabilities. For such values, when you find the probabilities, so that is called discrete random variable. In the name itself is there. So quite opposite to next type is quite opposite to first one. That is continuous random variable. Continuous random variable means we have infinite number of values. There we have finite that can be countable, and here it cannot be countable. So such examples also are there. So we can get that. So for discrete, it is easy only rolling a dice. rolling the dice or tossing the coin. So these are all the basic example for discrete random variable. Once I will read this definition also. See here, there are random variables which can take only finite number of values in a finite observation interval. So we can say that discrete random variables has distinct values that can be counted. Distinct is nothing but different. Okay, different values that can be counted. Yeah, distinct values that can be counted. For example, talking of a coin. Okay, see, these are all the basic things. If you understand this one, so however the question can be asked, you can able to answer it. So many of them, what they will do means, so why we need to listen class. So let it be, let it avoid this, and we'll go for just problems. But before doing problems, you should know certain things. So when you don't know certain things in the examination, you may twist the question. So in such cases, what happen? You will not able to write the answer. So that is what the thing will be happen in your examination. So understand the little points. That means the meaning of the word. So when you know this point, that means when you attend the classes properly, when you listen to me, definitely you can able to do it. Or else it will be difficult for you people. So now we'll go for continuous random variable. So when we'll get this infinite number of observations? So what will be the example for that? We'll see in this concept, in this topic. So there is a random variable that takes an infinite number of values. So that is known as continuous random variable. Okay. So what will be the example? Discrete means we have tossing a coin. But what about this continuous random variable? Continuously it will be happening. So in what cases it will be happening means, for example, I have given two examples. Weight of an article. So article is nothing but some object or something, like for example, furniture or some metal chair. Okay, some wood things, and then some electronic devices. So these are all the articles. Okay, these are all the articles we can take. Not that English article. So it is an article, so which we have a thing or an object. Now see here, example as given weight of article. See, we have different number of articles. They are not saying about a particular article. We have different number of articles. So how are you going to find weight of the articles? Definitely there will be different number of different from each other. Definitely. So this article is one weight means another article is will be another weight. So like that, so on. We have many number of articles. Correct. So when you pick up for one, definitely one more will be there. One more will be there. So like that, so on. It continues. So that is called continuous random variable. We can't get exact number of sample space here. So that is called continuous random variable. Next, length of nails produced by a machine. So nail means this, which we use for a wall, correct, to tap a clock, so like that. So this nail, one can be bigger, another can be small, and there are also many machines. So the length of nails produced by a machine is also one of the example for continuous random variables. Okay. So this is the example. So this will example, when you remember, that is easily capable of understanding this concept, continuous random variable. Next, now you will get some formulas that can be applied in all the problems. So probability function. So probability function means we know, students. So there will be variable xi. Okay, variable xi. So each value of xi, that can be taken as capital X also. So for this we need to find probability. So P of x or P of xi. So probability of certain values. So that is called probability function. P of itself you are getting is this open bracket, close bracket. That is nothing but a function. Okay. So that is what I have given. If for each value of xi of an discrete random variable x, we assign a real number P of xi such that P of xi should be greater than or equal to 0. See, always probability function should be greater than or equal to 0. This is one condition. And the range between 0 to 1 itself, that is nothing but summation of all the possibilities values are equal to 1. Like that I have shown p plus q is equal to 1. Correct. So that is the best example for this summation of p of xi. So summation of p of xi is equal to 1. Then the function p of x is called probability function, like I said before. So this is about probability function, that is finished. Next, discrete probability distribution, that we'll see now. If the probability that x can take the values xi, then p of x, so that is what I wrote, and we know that one, p of xi also. So, or that can be represented as pi also. Okay, that's our wish. Now, what is this discrete probability distribution means? The set of values xi and p of xi. You need to construct a table to find that xi and p of xi. Okay, this construction of values, this set of values xi comma p of xi is known as discrete probability distribution of a discrete random variable x. Okay, so the function p of x is called probability density function. So that means this one. This is p of x is called probability density function. So like previously what I said, it is a probability function. See, and also they can call it as a probability density function or the probability mass function. So why it is represent like density function, mass function means all kind of probability values for the given question you will get from this one point, that is p of xi. So only it is called probability density function or probability mass function. Then one more concept is there. So that is cumulative distribution function. What is this cumulative distribution function means? So like that, so on. So previous value with cumulative means in statistics, you know that one. So some values are there. 246 means suppose this is the frequency, means what will be the cumulative frequency means. So for first one it is 2. Second one is 2 plus 4, that is 6. And third one is 2 plus 4 plus 6, that is 12. So this is the cumulative distribution. So just basic example I have given how the cumulative distribution can be taken. Okay. So it's 2 plus 4, 2 plus 4 plus 6. So these are called as cumulative distribution. So now how we'll write cumulative distribution in this case means, see, that is f of x is equal to p of capital X, always it is less than or equal to small x, and that equals to summation I is equal to 1 to x p of x. One problem I'll do definitely, then you can able to understand this cumulative distribution function. Okay, so this is the formula you should remember. So how many formulas are there? These two, and then this one very important. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So only 4 formulas when you remember, that is enough to solve the problem. And also we have, since it is related to statistical methods, probability interlinked with statistics. How means, because for these values we can able to find mean, standard deviation, everything. So here formula for mean and variance of discrete probability distribution is, so mean can be finded like this: mu is equal to summation I xi into p of xi. Mu can be represented as mean can be represented as mu. Then variance v. So variance v is equal to summation I, so xi minus mu whole square into p of xi. Okay, that is the formula, and also one more formula is there. V is equal to summation xi square p of xi. This we know. Xi minus mu means mu already. So without mean we can't able to find v. So if they ask variance itself means you should be able to find mean also. So that is the link. Then standard deviation. So we all know variance is square of standard deviation, or standard deviation is square root of variance. So that is what we wrote. So these are the formulas, these 3 and those 4. So 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 formulas you should remember for now to solve this concept. So there is one problem. Only one problem I will do in this class. Other problems will continue in next class. So here to here the formulas are there. So those formulas are very important, and also the naming like exclusive event, independent event, discrete random variable, continuous random variable, and also some examples. So these are important points. So we'll solve one problem. Can able to understand it. Yeah. So the first question is like this. So a coin is tossed twice. So there is only one coin. So it is tossed twice in. So a random variable x represent number of heads turning up. Okay, number of heads turning up. So what we need to find? So there is a coin since it is tossed twice in, and there is a random and there is a random variable also, that is x, which represents what is that random variable x represent means, that is number of heads it represents. So what we need to find, this is one condition. So what we need to find means find the discrete probability distribution, find the discrete probability distribution for x. Okay, random probability distribution for x, and also find its mean and variance. Okay, so students, first I'll show you what we need to find means discrete probability distribution. Discrete probability distribution means xi comma p of xi. Okay, so this set of values we need to find. For this set of values we should know xi and p of xi. So we'll start the solution. First what we need this xi. Okay, that xi values we should need. So how to find means first we need to find sample space. So let the sample space s is equal to, we have one coin but it is tossed twice. What is the possible cases? Head, 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 tail, head, and tail. Okay, this is sample space of s. But here what the x represent, capital X represent number of heads. So this is very important point. A random variable x represents number of heads turning up. Okay, so random variable x is equal to, for head, so how many times head it is there? 1, 2. So it is 2. So here head we have only one time. Here head we have only one time. Here there is no head at all. So it is 0. So this example I have given already while I am explaining random variable. Same thing I have taken here also. So now what will be the range of random variable x? So range of random variable x is 2, 1, 0. 1 is repeated twice, so we have to make it as 1. So 2, 1, 0. So what we need to do means for all these, yeah.
ಸರ್ ಅದೇನು ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಿ ಇವಾಗ 1,1ಗೆ?
See, this is head ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸತಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಹೆಡ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 2 times, ಹೆಡ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 1 time, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಡ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 1 time, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಡ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 0. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಒಂದೇ ಸತಿ ಬರಿತೀವಿ. ಇವಾಗ 2 ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 4 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಬರೀ 2 ಅಂತ ಒಂದೇ ಸತಿ ಬರಿತೀನಿ. ಆ ಒಂದು ನಂಬರ್
Okay.
ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಾಬಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
ಓಕೆ. So now we should go for finding this probability. Okay. Now, probability of getting head two times at a time. Like head comma head. That is x is equal to 2. That I have taken x is equal to 2. That is 2 heads. For your understanding, I am writing in detail. That is 2 heads, and that is equal to probability of head. Correct? Probability of getting 2 heads at a time is equal to P of h comma h. So that is equal to, we all know how to find a probability. So how many times h comma h is there? Only one time. That is 1. So number of favorable cases divided by total number of outcomes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct? Out of 4, we got at only one time. So 1 divided by 4. Okay. 1 divided by 4. So we got for 2. So 2 is over. Next we'll go for probability of getting head at once. That is 1 head is equal to 1 head. How many times we are getting? 2 times, students. So if you get confused, I'll write separately. One is for P of ht, another is for P of th. Okay, or else you can write directly 2 divided by 4 also. So 1, 2 divided by 4. So for this ht, how many times we got? 1. So 1 by total number of outcomes are 4, plus again th, how many times we got? 1 time. Okay, so 1 divided by 4, or you can write directly also, that is 2 divided by 4 also you can take. So 1 plus 1 is 2, so 2 divided by 4. Okay, so 2 divided by 4 is 1 by 2. Next, probability of getting no head, that is no head is equal to, no head is nothing but tail. Correct? No, so here there is no head, so there is ct. What is ct? So again we got only one time, so 1 divided by 4 is for probability of not getting head. Okay, so I got all the values, and also I got xi. Xi is nothing but this range of x. So this is called, so this is called xi, and these all called as P of xi. So I'll write and show the table so that you can able to understand. So now construct the table. Therefore, the discrete probability distribution for x is, for capital X is, one is xi, another is P of xi, is 2, 1, 0. That is 2, 1, 0. Then P of xi means one is 1 by 4, another is 1 by 2, another is 1 by 4. So this is called discrete probability distribution. So this satisfies that true probability distribution condition. One is P of xi always greater than or equal to 0. See, 1 by 4, 0.25, 0.5, 0.5. So it satisfies this condition. So this condition is valid now. This condition is valid now. Next one. One more condition. Summation of P of xi is equal to 1. Summation of P of xi is equal to 1. So what is this? Means 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 is equal to one thing. And I can show you that. Okay. Now see, when you add it, you will get 1 by 4 is nothing but 0.25 plus 1 by 2 is nothing but 0.5 plus 1 by 4 means 0.25. So when you add it, see, you got 1. So hence this condition also satisfied. For your reference, we are writing, so no need to write compulsory. Okay, this condition satisfied. And also they are find it mean and variance. Variance it is. Find its mean and variance. So what is the formula for mean? Mean is represented as mu. Summation of xi into p of xi. So x1, x2, x3. That is 2 into, so you can write x1 into p of x1, x2 into p of x2, x3 into p of x3. See, x1 is nothing but 2 into p of x1 is 1 by 4 plus 1 into 1 by 2 plus 0 into 1 by 4. You need to multiply and add it. So 2 and 2 ones are 2. So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 0. So that is 1. So therefore, mean is equal to 1. Next, variance. So variance V is equal to summation xi minus mu the whole square into p of xi. So it is easy to write. X1 that is 2, correct? Minus mu is 1 whole square into p of first one. So p of 2 that is 1 by 4 plus again same thing 1 minus 1 whole square 1 by 2 plus 0 minus 1 whole square 1 by 4. So when you simplify these 2 minus 1 1 1 into 1 by 4 1 by 4 1 minus 1 0 0 into anything 0. So this whole thing will get 0. Like 0 minus 1 whole square is 1. So 1 into 1 by 4 1 by 4. 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 2 by 4 that is 1 by 2. So therefore mu is equal to 1 and variance V is equal to 1 by 2. Since we got the values. First one is a discrete probability distribution. Next one is mu. Next one is V. So like this only second problem is there so that you try it. If you're not getting, I will do in next class. So those you have any doubts in this column. See, for this column, what you need to do is you need to go on practice. Okay, first
Sir.
understand how to find x. Yeah, help.
Sir, the p of xi greater than or equal to 0 ಅದೇಂಗ್ ಸರ್?
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಿ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಐ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ 3 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ನ ಪಿ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಐ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ನ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. 1/4 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? 0 ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಸೊ ಇದು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತು ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ನ. ಮೋರ್ ದೆನ್ 0 ಇದೆ. ಅದೇ ತರನೇ 1/2 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 0.5. ಸೊ ಅಗೇನ್ 0 ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ 0 ಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬಂತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀನ್ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತ, ಲೈಕ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೋರ್ ದೆನ್ 1 ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 1.5 2 ಈ ತರ ಬಂತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀನ್ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ, ಅದನ್ನ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಮತ್ತೆ 1/4 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 0.25. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಗೋಪಿ?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಡೌಟ್? ಸೊ ಮೇನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯೋದು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಪ್ರಾಬಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಾಬಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯೋ ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಈಸಿ ಇದು. ಓಕೆ, ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೇವರಬಲ್ ಔಟ್ಕಮ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ ಟೋಟಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಔಟ್ಕಮ್, ಆ ತರ ಬರ್ದಿರೋದು. ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಸೊ ಲಿಸನ್ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್. Yeah, wait, I'll take the attendance. Don't leave the session.